Hey, what's up guys? It's Robo.
And it's Jake.
And we are going to talk about some of the new sets that are coming out from Pokemon that they've already kind of teased. We got some big insights from Pokemon World. Oh, also in the far future with the Evolving Skies 2.0, the Stellar Crown set for the evolutions. We have our Gym Heroes, Gym Challenge, Rocket Returns kind of set, bringing back the trainer Pokemon. And then we have, you know, they just showed Surging Sparks, the new set that's going to be after Stellar Crown. I feel like we just got Shrouded Fables and we already know the next two sets. So we're going to kind of talk about all the stuff that's coming out.
Yeah, it's a little bit of set fatigue. Do you feel any of it?
Yeah,
a little bit of set fatigue.
I think this is a critique that Pokemon is...
it's a lot of sets, guys.
It's like they need to not be announcing something that's two sets ahead when we have nothing for this upcoming set.
Yeah, like Shrouded Fable just came out. It's supposed to be like a big special set.
Yeah.
And like everyone's like, oh, by the way, Stellar Crown is coming out in a week. Everyone get excited for that now.
Right. And they gotta know that's going to affect sales of Shrouded Fable.
I don't get it.
Because people are just gonna be saving money for Stellar Crown.
The decisions don't make sense. There are people that are paid way more than you and I that are making these decisions. And they don't make any sense to me.
But it's, you know, it's like they're still gonna sell what they sell and still be #1.
Yeah,
I honestly
Pokemon
think,
will always sell well.
Right.
That's the crazy thing.
And that's the thing, right? So until Pokemon doesn't sell well enough that some honest challenge actually challenges them and forces them to make better business decisions, they can kind of just do whatever they want.
I'm sure, you know, we don't know the background stories behind of it. There's so many potentials. Like, perhaps they wanted these sets to have larger gaps, and for whatever, like, logistics reasons, they had to push them closer together. We don't know, like, the actual, like, background stories on why certain things happen certain ways. In business, there's all kind of little funky stuff. But
that is true.
We can talk about some of the upcoming sets. The next one is Stellar Crown. What do you think? Hot or not?
I think it'll be hotter than Shrouded Fable.
It will be.
And it's funny.
I think Stellar Crown will be hot. It's good. It's good.
And you touched on something about the logistics stuff that's actually quite interesting, because I think a lot of the other reason why it's bad that we know so much about Stellar Crown and then also now know so much about Surging Sparks is the fact that the ETBs were delayed, which Pokemon has never had an ETB in a product that's like a staple product from a new set coming out.
Yeah.
I think those officially drop tomorrow, right? Friday. And so, you know, they were supposed to come out at the beginning of this month. Then they let all the distros know, oh, there's a delay.
Yeah.
And that's like, we just haven't even gotten one of the main set products yet. And we already know what the next two sets are and some of the product from those next two sets.
Yeah, that's another thing, is that news travel very fast right now. That's something I've noticed with Pokemon, is that as soon as something is revealed, a new card, a new set, any news at all, people data mine everything. People know everything so quickly now.
Yeah.
It wasn't like that 4 or 5 years ago. There was much more like slow discoverability, where there were actual hidden gems, and nowadays like everything is so tuned in. As soon as a new set is dropped or a new
everyone knows about it
immediately.
I even remember 5-6 years ago people were unaware of like what was coming out on the Pokemon Center. But I think also, you know, that was one of the reasons...
There were like secrets. There were secrets in Pokemon.
That was one of the reasons I got into creating Pokemon content, and I think a lot of other people did as well, because I just remember when I was really getting into it, I was like, hey, there's not a lot of people just talking about this. And now
it's like, it's such a fine-tuned machine. It seems like we're complaining about ourselves. It is what it is, though.
It is, you know? I mean, that's why news travels so fast. You got these Poke Talkers just being able to put up the information, easily digestible. You can scroll. You can learn so much. Who are those guys? What are you doing?
I try to do that a little bit less now, because I know someone out there has already spread out the word for a brand new item. Yeah. Sometimes I feel like, oh, I don't need to talk about that immediately. I'll talk about it in a week when I have a stronger opinion or have to digest the information a little bit more. So
I'll try to do a longer version on YouTube when there's like more information about a thing. But for like small or shorts, you know, or like TikToks, it's like very easy to be able to be like, this new set just announced. Look at these teaser cards, like when Pokemon teased
It's going to be the best set ever. Yeah, and you barely know anything about it.
You don't know a lot about it, but you see Ends Reshiram, and you also see the return of like the Gym Challenge, Gym Heroes, like trainers, Pokemon coming out. And I just think I remember opening those packs as a kid. So I think everyone for like the target demographic, like the OGs that grew up with set 1, you're just excited that they're bringing back something that is a direct thing from our childhood.
Sure.
That they really haven't done a full new set of. I mean, they've done like Cynthia's Garchomp, like the, you know, level X Pokemon, and there's like Team Aqua's Kyogre, but, you know, a full set revolving around this stuff.
We'll definitely talk about that more, especially when we get like a lot more news on it.
Yes, that could be its own video in itself.
Okay, so we just talked about Stellar Crown. We both think it's going to be hot. I would say the big reason why I think it's going to be hot, just to give the viewers a reason, it's because it's got the base set. I'm sorry, not the base set, but the original starter. It's got Bulbasaur and Squirtle, the illustration rares inside of it. That alone is fantastic. They're both really good cards. Yeah,
I want to see what other art rares
there
and
will be a
alt
bunch
arts
more cool stuff
are going to be inside. I know that the set obviously kind of centers around Terapagos, which isn't really a Pokemon that I'm familiar with.
I literally just call it the Rainbow Turtle, and
it's the Rainbow Turtle. I think he's the latest DLC from Scarlet Violet. But see, I know so many people
he's in the anime too. He's big in the anime.
Oh, okay, sure. And I just feel like I've stopped playing Scarlet and Violet like on a consistent, like comparatively to when it first came out.
I don't know much about these new Pokemon.
Right, so it's just kind of like a legendary that is just kind of, you know, I don't know how much oomph he brings to the table. Just
it's a cool art. Have you seen the special illustration? It looks good.
Yeah, and it's a cool concept. I like the idea of like
it would be a good chase card. It would be
the rainbow typing and being like, oh, all types. So it's like, oh, what's this guy's weakness, or does he hit everything with strength? You know.
All right, so that's our thoughts on Stellar Crown. The set after that, final set for the year, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm still going to call it Vivid Voltage. What is it called?
Surging Sparks?
It's literally Vivid Voltage.
No, it's Surging Sparks.
I know it's Surging Sparks, but let's be honest here.
That's so different from Vivid Voltage.
It's the exact same electric set. It's
Vivid Voltage.
It's got Pikachu on the ETB
Surging
again.
Sparks.
All right.
Next thing you're going to say is the next set, Electrifying Electricity, is two alike.
Yes.
These are different Pikachu-related entities.
You got me. You got me.
Yeah.
This
is Pikachu with a light bulb on his head.
Sure.
Don't forget.
All right.
And that makes him different.
One thing I'll say, the ETB art looks good.
Yeah.
It looks good.
Yeah. I mean,
it's
who doesn't like a Pikachu?
It's one of the best ETBs they've released in recent memory. What do you think? You
Terastallized Pikachu is goated. It's Pikachu with a constant brilliant idea. And, you know, he's going to be unloading those.
That is adorable. I'm going to think about that. He's just like got a good idea right now.
Constantly. And, you know, Pokemon's going to be sharing that with the rest of the hobby. So I really hope we get a cool alt art Pikachu in that set.
Have you seen the... we will for sure.
Yeah.
I think so. Do you think of... Have you seen the ETB promo?
Oh,
it's the Magneton.
The Magneton? I did see a sneak peek of that. The colors on it look nice. It looks good. It's probably the coolest looking Magneton Pokemon card I don't know the
artist name, and I'll figure it out soon enough. But it's the same person that did the Giratina V and the Magikarp.
Oh, then it's Igawa.
Yeah.
Akira.
Is that who does the art for it?
Yeah,
I don't know them by name.
Amazing artist.
Yeah, but like it looks so good.
Yeah.
That artist is doing fantastic.
That's what I would have guessed. I mean, yeah, when you have a super talented artist, that's what you expect. The artist will do artwork, and it's always going to kill. Yeah,
that's a good one.
The Magneton looks great. I mean, if you're a big Magneton fan, then you're going to love that card.
But that's the thing we're talking about with set fatigue, is that we just got Shrouded Fable. We already know Stellar Crown. We know the upcoming
Surging Sparks
set.
And then they teased, right? Like after that, we're supposed to get the Evolution set where they're all Stellar Crowned up. So they're calling that Evolving Skies 2.0.
I had a recent opinion recently where I said, you know, like if you're tight on money, which there are people are, you might want to just save some money on some of these sets, and like there are going to be some awesome sets next year too, which is such a struggle when they're all good.
Yeah, because assuming it goes by like the Evolving Skies 2.0, and then you know, we've gotten word that the Pokemon Company got the rights to Rocket's Return.
We know there's going to be a Team Rocket
some sort of new Rocket set too, and then you got the Trainer set that's going to be like Gym Challenge, Gym Heroes.
And I was telling people recently, like the last 4 sets of like any main series.
Oh yeah, always do.
They always are like crazy stuff and do crazy, great stuff. Like they did alt art in Sun and Moon and tag teams in Sun and Moon for the last 4 sets. They did trainer galleries and some of the best alt art chase cards in the last 4 sets of Sword and Shield. So the last 4 sets are probably going to be bangers.
Well, I think it's also like if the new game drops, like the cards always go off, like then they're going to reprint megas. And then that's when, we talked about this, about how the mega evolutions are so cool. Like from the XY era, the cards just look beautiful and the texture on them, the hollow. And if they reprint, or not reprint, but just do more mega evolutions, like it's gonna be crazy.
What else is coming out? We got the upcoming Terapagos Ultra Premium Collection. What do you think of that? Well,
you got that, and they're dropping it at the same time as the Greninja Premium Collection.
I know they're both coming out. Are they both coming out the same day or something?
I think I saw a TikTok or a short or something where someone said that, so I don't know 100%. But if they do, that's crazy.
It's still too close. Yeah. 2 Ultra Premium Collections, and the Terapagos one's a little better. I would say it's a little better between the two.
Okay, so why? Because
the Greninja Ultra Premium Collection doesn't have
horrible promos.
The promos are bad, and the promos are big reasons of why you want them.
They're already artworks, right? It's a reprint of.
They have good Greninja EX artwork. They have some great ones to pick one. They have 2. They have the one from Twilight Masquerade, and they have the one from the recent Shrouded Fable promo. They could have done either of those in a metal card, and they didn't.
But instead, the metal card is just the Greninja EX regular artwork, but metal.
Yes.
And not even different, just like the Greninja EX card.
I'm pretty confident that's what it is, and I'm like, why?
That's bad.
It is bad.
That should have been something cooler.
It's $120. It's going to go on fire sale if no one buys it.
And then, people can pick them up for $75 like they did the Charizard UPCs, which at least had 3 unique alt art promos that you can't pull.
The Charizard Ultra Premium Collection is probably like the best banger Ultra Premium Collection. It's a great set, great promos, and it still went on fire sale. So what is going to happen to these ones when they have bad promos?
Well, but like anything with Pokemon, guys, I remember when no one wanted to touch them when they hit $75, $80. And I was like, I'll pick up some Charizard UPCs. And now they're up because, you know what? The pack's inside. So
they're good.
Even if the Greninja Ultra Premium Collection is bad, it's going to have Scarlet Violet packs, but it's going to have Paldea Evolve, Twilight Masquerade, Temporal Forces. And now you're like, oh, there's booster boxes of that. There's other box collections where I can get that. But a year from now, 2 years from now, when we're on future sets, when we're on the next block of Pokemon, Pokemon Spoon and Fork, people are going to rip open those Greninja, those boxes are going to go up because you're going to be like, dang, you got a nice selection of Scarlet Violet packs from that UPC.
Yeah. Okay, so are you going to pick up Stellar Crown?
I'll probably pick up more Stellar Crown stuff
I will absolutely
Shrouded Fable.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I feel so bad for people clowning on Shrouded Fable. It's not even that bad of a set.
But you know what? I also play and players have told me this that are even more professional than professional Pokemon players are like Shrouded Fable is kind of like a player set. I guess it introduces a lot of new stuff that shook up the meta.
I got that same issue with people complaining about it at the World Championships, that it came out right before the World Championship, and people didn't have enough time to practice with some of the cards, which was annoying. Yeah. So that's another little complaint.
That's going to happen with One Piece. Well, not quite, because the next set drops right before One Piece Nationals.
It's just bad planning.
But I don't think it's gonna be tournament legal for the One Piece Nationals.
Sure.
So
sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else you want to hit as we end out this year?
Let's see. Are there any other big items that?
There's one other big item.
The Charizard figure box. Is that what you were thinking of?
No.
What were you thinking of?
I have one other thing I want to talk about, but yeah, that one's interesting.
The Charizard looks clunky. Same thing with the Greninja, right? Is it another?
It's the exact
reprint.
Same.
The promo is just
a reprint.
Right. It's not a unique promo
ultra
card.
Rare.
Oh.
Then why can't they put a good art inside?
Put a good art inside.
Because people will buy anything. Is that what they think? I don't know. I feel like they're insulting collectors at certain points.
Sometimes.
It will go on fire sale. It will go cheap.
I mean, there's enough.
If no one buys it.
You know what it is? There's enough new people always entering the hobby that don't know anything about you know, past collections or past card that will go, oh, I'll pick that up and this looks cool. And that's a way they can for sure get it. And they don't know how to pull that card or what set it's from.
There's one final thing that's coming out this year, and this one's spicy as well. And it's the Japanese special holiday set. It's going to drop at the start of December. And it's going to be the
What's the
Evolving Skies 2.0. It is the EV-centric set.
That's the special set.
Yes, it's coming out later this year in Japan first.
Okay, so we'll get that in Japanese,
and that will be so good. That's I can already tell. It hasn't been really revealed yet. We haven't really seen.
Wait, is it gonna? It's gonna come out at the end of this year, so we get it in 2024.
Yep.
Okay, and then English it'll be 2025.
Yeah, and if it comes out, I think it's going to be really, really good. I think that one is one to look out for.
Let's talk about this. Is a good way to like a good finale, just in the sense. Do you think, obviously Evolving Skies, they're like, here's the Rayquaza, here's the Dragonite, here's all these alt arts, but then here's the alt arts of all these evolutions.
It was a really stacked set, yeah.
You're right. But how I remember it from Japan, you know, you have Eevee Heroes, and then you have Blue Sky Stream. This Eevee set did so well because, right, evolutions are a fan favorite, but the alt arts are gorgeous. Like,
yeah, they are.
And they're, I'll say this, they're no nonsense. In the sense that it's Umbreon V, Umbreon VMAX, Sylveon V, Sylveon VMAX. I guess the VMAX is the thing of that set, but in Scarlet Violet, the thing is the crowns. You know, the party hats.
Here's what I think they could do, and they have done special illustration rares with the crowns. They have done special illustration.
Right, so they're all just going to have crowns.
They don't. They will have. I think they will have an illustration rare version of the EVs that are, you know, just cool illustration rare versions, and then they will have a SIR or special illustration rare with the crown. So they will have both. Same with Evolving Skies. That's what my gut feeling says they would go with.
So there'll be an alt art of just an Umbreon, but without the crown.
Yes, a regular Umbreon, and then a special illustration rare EX version.
You know what'd be interesting? Some of their EX cards, like I don't know why this just popped into my head. The Wug Trio is electric type. Yeah. Because he's got the light bulb on his head. Charizard is a dark type when you get the alt art. Yeah. And then I remember when that was being teased as like, oh, is this a new Delta species Charizard?
Oh, they could
and they did a dark type. They could have water Umbreon type with the fountain on his head.
I absolutely agree with you.
And it's blue, but the Umbreon's still black. And then they could make shiny versions of all of them. But imagine like actually, that would kill it. I think people would love that because it's different. You have a blue card of a Flareon, and it's Flareon with a fountain on his head.
You thought about this. Okay.
Dark Jolteon. You have a fairy type.
I want them to do more of that.
Vaporeon.
Because it's the coolest part of this terrestrialized mechanic.
Exactly. To
any
change
Pokemon
the type.
Can be any type. Yeah. They haven't done enough of like different types.
Oh my god! Could you imagine a fire type Umbreon? Well, I mean, I guess it doesn't make him fiery, but it's just a red card. It just looks different.
So they haven't done a lot of this type mixing in the trading card. You can do it all in the Scarlet and Violet games. Yes. But in the trading cards, they focused on the typings to match with the crowns. Yeah. And I think the reason for that is they think it might cause confusion to the players too much. Well, if you have like a water type Umbreon and stuff like that, it gets a little confusing in the game. So I think that's why I think it's totally cool if they were to do that. Yeah. But because of how confusing and as a mechanic it would be, that's why they haven't done crazy crowns yet. But I think it would be definitely cool.
Right, because I'm thinking of it purely as a collector perspective. Obviously, if you made an evolution type that had to evolve from, like Flareon EX has to come from Flare, like if a Flareon's a fire type, yes, and they make it with the card game where the crown makes him a water type, they have to think about that, how that plays into the meta with now its weakness changes, now its strength changes. But that's what they've done with the Wug Trio and the Fighting Greninja and all the different types. I don't know if they could do it for every evolution, but it would be so cool if they could figure out, like, we'll turn Flareon into a fairy, we'll turn Glaceon into a grass, we'll turn Leafeon into a
It would be great as like electric. A promo, or even they've made cards that are not playable in the TCG before and are still collectible. So there's ways around it. Yeah. I'd be down for it. I'd be down for it.
Like a special box where the moves just suck and the players are gonna be like, none of these will be playable at all. But the box has like the Umbreon with the lightning bulb on his head and it's electric, and the Flareon has the water spout on his head and he's water. And yeah, that would just be such a cool box. Wouldn't that be a cool box, guys?
There's cool stuff to look out for.
I think
so it's going to be, I think it's going to be a fun end of the year wrap up.
Yeah.
And definitely next year is really exciting to look forward to.
Oh my gosh, I know. The gym Pokemon, potential megas. Oh man,
yeah,
it's going to be exciting.
I'm down for it. All right, let us know what your guys' thoughts are. If you guys have anything else that's really exciting for you guys to talk about, let me know down in the comment section.
Yes, and if you think any of our predictions for any of the future sets, like the different crowns for the different evolutions, if you think that is going to come true or not, let us know. Thank you guys for tuning in. Peace.
Later.